In this tutorial, we're going to have a look at how to set up the osTicket customer help desk system on Linux Ubuntu but using the LOMP stack, better known as OpenLiteSpeed, MariaDB, and PHP software stack. But before we begin, let's take a look at an overview of the steps covered in this guide. First, I'm going to show you how to access the server and create the osTicket installation script. Then I'll show you how to set execute permissions on the script and actually run the script. Finally, I'll create the virtual host in OpenLiteSpeed and then access the osTicket web installer. So I'm going to run the command ssh administrator at the IP address of my server. So in my case, the IP address is 192.168.1.130. So in your case, it might be a different IP. So if you hit enter, you should now enter your password and you should now have access to your server over an SSH connection. Run the command sudo su to elevate your access to the root user. Then run the command nano osTicket.sh. So you need to download the script that I've already prepared from the link in the video description. Then you simply open the file, copy the contents, and then paste them onto the osTicket.sh script that you've created, and that is actually open in the SSH terminal window. So I'm going to paste in the contents now and then save the changes that I've made to the file. So I'm going to set execute permissions on the script by running the command chmod +x osTicket.sh. Then I'll run the command by running the command /osTicket.sh. And as you can see, the installation is now in progress. So during the installation, the script will actually ask you to configure the osTicket database details, the domain name, as well as the database password that you actually need to have configured. So I'm going to actually configure that now, but before that we need to run the MySQL secure installation script process. And then once that's done, I'll then specify the osTicket database name. I'm going to specify the username as well as the osTicket database password, and then I'll actually also proceed to set the OpenLiteSpeed username and password. So that will actually allow us to access the OpenLiteSpeed web admin console. So I'm going to set the domain name that is pointing to the server, and as you can see, the installation is now proceeding. So I'm just going to wait a bit more for the process to complete, and the script should actually inform us once the full process is done. So this is a much simplified way of completing the setup, as you don't have to manually install each package and manually configure each package every step of the way. So the installation should be done right about now. And as you can see, the script is now telling us that the process is complete. So as you can see, there are a couple of steps that you need to take. So particularly it's just configuring OpenLiteSpeed to be able to serve the osTicket system. So I'm going to open up a new browser window, and I'm going to access the OpenLiteSpeed web admin console. So I'm just going to type in the domain name that I've configured, which I already have set up in the localhost configuration file on my Mac. So I just simply need to type that in and then specify the 7080 port number. So proceed to enter the username and password for OpenLiteSpeed and then click on the login button. Click on virtual host and then delete the example virtual host that is already there. Click on add and then set the virtual host name to osTicket.yourdomainname.com. And then set the virtual host root, which you can actually copy from the command line interface. So I'm just going to copy that path and then add that to the virtual host parameter, and then I'll also set up the config file. So once that's done, I'll then click on the save changes button to actually apply the changes. So click on edit and then click on the general tab. Click edit and then you need to specify the document root. So I'm going to copy the path from the command line and then paste that into the document root field and then specify the domain name. and then enable gzip compression as well as Brotli compression. So you can edit the index file section and then specify the index files that the web server should look for. So click on save and then click on the rewrite tab. Set enable rewrite to yes as well as auto load from the HT access to yes, and click on save. So I'm just going to restart LiteSpeed for the changes to take effect. So I'm going to edit the listener and then set the port for the listener to 80 and then add a virtual host mapping for the virtual host that we've just created. So click on save again and then go into the server configuration external app section. So I'll change the name of the LS API to lsphp81 and then also adjust the command to lsphp81. So this just configures PHP version 8.1 to be used by the server. So I'm going to access the osTicket installer, and as you can see, all of the prerequisites have been met, and then I'll just click on next. So you need to set the help desk name, the default system email address, as well as the admin user details. So I'm going to set that and then proceed to set the admin user details. So I'm just going to type in the admin email address as well as the admin username and password. So let me just quickly type that in, and then I'll proceed to the database settings section. So on the database settings section, you simply need to specify the database name, the username, and password that you actually configured on the installation script prompts, and then you simply click on the install now button. So you should see a congratulations page, and from here you can actually log into the osTicket backend. So I'm going to specify the credentials that I chose to use. And the final step, as you can see, is actually to remove the setup directory. So you simply need to return to the command line interface and then change to the osTicket virtual host root. So you need to move into the document root, and then I'm just going to go into the upload directory and then remove the setup directory. So this needs to be removed, and it is actually a strict requirement that osTicket needs. So if you return to the dashboard and refresh the page, you actually notice that the error message is gone. And as you can see, we've actually completed the installation successfully. So that's been it, guys. That's a quick look at how you can install osTicket on a Linux Ubuntu server that actually uses the LOMP stack. Please consider to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and please also share this video with your peers, colleagues, and friends. I hope this tutorial has been informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.